This is WordPress Plugins A to Z.
Welcome to the training video for WooCommerce, being presented by johnoverall.com and WP Plugins A to Z.com. And today what I'm going to be covering here is how to do the basics of your WooCommerce store. And in that process, we're going to make some assumptions here to begin with. Now this is actually a live store of my own website that I've been working on for a while, and it's slowly coming together. So these are actual settings for everything. Now the first thing we're going to assume here is when you go into the back end of your website, you'll go into your WooCommerce area, and the first assumption is that your WooCommerce store is going to be all set up and fully functioning. You will have your taxes, shipping, everything else is fully organized there. I'm not covering that in this episode. What I'm going to be covering here is how to set up your products and how to manage products from it. And then once I've got a few products created, then I will go through and show you the purchase process just to make sure you understand how that works and how to manage it. So first off, you'll notice you can import a CSV file of WooCommerce products. Now that's something I'm not going to be covering. That's something I will or probably will cover at a future date. So what we're going to do though is before you can create your first product, you have some things you must do that they don't bother to tell you about. They say hop on in board, go create your first product. And then what do they take you to? They take you to the page to create your product where you've got a whole lot of stuff that isn't even set up and organized yet. You've got things to deal with such as product categories, product tags. You've got attributes that you got to deal with. All of these things actually need to be set up first. So, dismiss, get out of there. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to take you down to the first things you really got to do. The first thing you have to do is you have to do some categorization. You need to figure out what categories of products are you going to have on your site. Now there's always a default category in WordPress. It's always labeled uncategorized. I like to take this category here and edit it up and change it from uncategorized to general or general products, anything along that line. Now you can do it by clicking the edit window, but it's also much quicker to just quick edit, and then edit it up. General products. Okay, and then what you do is get rid of the slug by just deleting it, and then click update category. Now that category is now your general products category. Now I'm going to cover two categories in this production here, and those two categories are going to be mugs, and you just fill in a name for it. The slug gets filled in automatically, so don't worry about it. Parent categories, this is something you use if you want to put it in as a subcategory or something, but not something you're going to worry about at the moment. And then you take a few seconds and create a description for it. And I'm just going to call it simply coffee mugs. Now what you'll want to do also is you'll want to upload and add an image to it. And of course it's like everything else in WordPress. Click upload, add an image. Then you go find the image you want either via the image library, or you can upload a file to it, and you can select files, or you can have another window open on another screen somewhere and then just drag and drop an image across for what you want. And then you can use that image. Okay, add that new category. The next one we're going to do is we're going to add t-shirts. T-shirts to it. And then of course take a few moments and create a description. Okay, and again you're going to want to add an image for your shirt to it. And then add a new category. Okay, so that's your categories that you've got started. So the next thing you have to do, and in particular, this deals with the attributes for the things you'll sell. Like selling mugs, pretty straightforward, unless you got multiple colored mugs. And we'll cover that too. selling t-shirts, well, you're going to have to deal with sizes, small, medium, large, extra large, male, female sizes, etc., etc. So what you need to do is you need to go down to the attributes here and start creating some attributes. So what we're going to do here for attributes is we're going to create, you need to create some categories for attributes. And so what you're going to do is you're going to create categories such as men's shirts. So we'll start with that. Oops. Men's shirts. Add that attribute. Women's shirts. Now we're going to also have some other attributes along the line we'll be dealing with, such as colors. And because my brain was off just a little bit, we do need to make a quick edit to the men's shirts and the women's shirts. And we need to add sizes to it. Save that. And go back to the attributes. And for the women's. Because we're dealing with attributes of shirt sizes. Okay, so now once you've got the initial attribute labeled up properly, and this is something you may have to spend a little time thinking about to get it right. Now you got to configure terms. We're going to go with colors because we're going to pick a few basic colors here. For colors, you're going to create just some colors in here. You're going to go red, black, white, blue. And we're just going to hold those. Now we can go back to the attributes. Men's shirt sizes. This is where you got to configure up those. And you're going to want to configure up the standard shirt sizes. XXX large, XX large, single extra large, and you're going to want large, and you're going to want medium, and you're going to want small. Okay, and now you're going to have to go do the same thing for women's. Configure the terms. And for women's, I don't think they do a XXX, but I think they do an extra large. And you're going to want large. And you're going to want a medium. And then you're going to want a small. Okay, now these are important and they'll come in later into play later. Now the tags are not something you deal with here. The tags are dealt with when you're creating your actual products. So to recap, we've created the categories for general products, mugs and t-shirts, and we need an image for general products. So give me a second. There, that's better. I like to have images of everything. Makes it look better. Okay, so general products, well, everything's got images. There's no description on the general products. I haven't figured one out yet, but we've got the descriptions, the slugs, the shirts. All of that is now in place. Now you're ready to create your first product. Now we go into products, of course, create your first product. let's go in and create it, and I'm going to put this on pause while I fill in all the details of the miscellaneous things. And they give you promo pieces here to tell you what to do. You can walk through this little by little if you want to walk through it. It's kind of helpful. If you've already had a single product added, that's not going to be there, but this is a first time for this store. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so we got a title. We've got a small description here. We'll save a copy of that because we're going to use it later. Over here to the left, you drop in, put it in the category for t-shirts. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start analyzing the product data. And you've got several choices here. If you have downloadable products, you can have virtual and downloadable products, but I'm not going to be dealing with that in this particular episode. Simple product, group product, external affiliate product. This is where you can actually bring in affiliate products such as Amazon or other places if you want to do those. Variable product. This is what we're going to be dealing with the shirts. This happens a lot with many products, mugs, and other things, is you're going to create a variable product. Okay, the variable product, is it taxable? Tax class is standard. Inventory, are you going to have an inventory for it or a SKU number for tracking? And we're going to have a SKU number is HC men's shirt. And that brings me back up to this. Yeah, men's t-shirt. Okay, so I've already got it in here. Men's shirt. Enable stock management. This is where you want to, if you want to have a limited quantity, say you've only got 10 of them to sell, you can put 10 of them. You can allow back orders, notify the customer, or allow it. I tend to not allow a back order. Enable this to only allow one of the item to be bought in a single order. If you check this box, that means that a person could only order one of that particular item. This might be a limited run product. You only want a person to buy one at a time. Anything along that line. Shipping. Now, shipping is important. If you've got your shipping set up, such as here in Canada, we use Canada Post a lot. If you use the Canada Post shipping module, you must put a weight in there in kilos, 0.5 kilos. You must put a weight in there in millimeters and millimeters, length, width, and height. And we're just going to put something in there. Okay. Shipping class, there is no shipping class. Linked products, this is for when you have more products in your store. Once you get a bunch of them, you can start putting additional products in there. Like say you've got a shirt and you want to upsell them to a mug, you can put the mug in here and upsell them to it. Or you've got a low quality shirt, you want to upsell them to a high quality shirt. Cross sells, products that relate to each other. This is to encourage people to spend more money in your store. So you'll spend a fair much time in there. Attributes. This is where we go into the attributes for what this product is. Okay. This is all that stuff we did before. Men's attribute sizes. Okay. We can add this. Now what we can do is we can start selecting the variables that are available. Okay. We can automatically select all the variables that are available, or say this shirt is only available in large and medium. You can go remove them. Okay. Or put them back. Okay. And this is where it's also used for variations. And you'll see how that works later. Okay, so then you save those attributes. Variations. This is a variation on it. And you can create a variation from all attributes. And this is so you can create different prices for all the different sizes. Okay, so what it will do is it will create a variation on it, all the way down the line. Okay, you notice it created me a variation on large, medium, small, extra large. Now you can open these up and you can give them individual SKU numbers, individual prices, individual stock statuses, individual shipping. If you put nothing in here, it will go to the default setting you set at the very beginning. That's this default settings here. Okay. Okay, back to it. Now, what we've got here you have to set all your pricings on here. Now you can default set your prices all the way through. Now you can make it an easy task here. If all the variations have the same price, you can go here to the drop down menu for variation and set regular price. Click on go and it'll bring up, and you can set a value, okay, for what it's going to be, and it will go through and it will adjust the price for every one of these items. You'll see it right down through here, every one of the prices items. You can go in and set a sale price. Set sale price here. You can increase the price, and if you needed to say increase the price, say there was a 4% increase or a decrease, you can go in, set this. We'll go with a 4% decrease, and watch the prices drop all the way through. And we expand it out. See, it dropped them all down to 32 from the 34. So this is one thing you can do with it to get everything set the way you want it to be. This way you don't have to go through them all individually to set the prices. Very useful, but by going through here you can also go through and tweak and adjust every individual item if there's separate prices or separate things that has to happen with the individual items in it. So this sets this one up. We've got this product set with all of its stuff. The Advanced tab here, where you can add a special note to the client or to the purchaser. Special note, you can order it in the menu. You can enable reviews of the product. Further down, depending on what your product's what your theme is going to have in it, there's going to be additional windows and items here that may or may not be important to you. You might want to adjust things by dragging and dropping stuff so that you get your most important items to the top. The product short description, this again depends on your theme on how it's dealt with, but it's a second area to add additional information for WooCommerce. Okay, so once you've got that, then you can come back up the side here. You've got product images to deal with, product image gallery to deal with. Now this product here, I only have one image for it, and that's the single t-shirt image, so we'll just leave it at that. So there's not going to be a we'll stick one image in the gallery too. Actually, we'll stick the logo in there too, just so you can get an idea of what it's going to look like. Product tags. This is where you create your tags, much like any other post in WordPress. And it'll be things like t-shirt, shirt, men's shirts, etc., etc. Whatever you think is important, double check that the t-shirt tag is set. And then what you can do is go and publish. Okay, so then we want to pop into the site and see what we've got in the store. And there we have it, our first product in the store. And we can click through, select the options. This is where the options came in the stock. Look at the gallery. And my theme doesn't handle the gallery very well. Something I'm going to have to deal with. Some themes handle the galleries better than other themes, so something I'm going to come back to. At any rate, you can add it to the cart. Go view the cart, and this all vary depending on your theme as to how it's going to look and proceed. As you see, it comes down through. You ship to a different address. I've got some really odd things with my theme here, but that's not your problem. Okay, and then we go down. They have to agree to your terms and conditions. Then we can place the order. I've got a fake pay plugin, so allow me to place sample orders. and place the order. Oh, shipping first. Oh, not shipping to a different address. Shipping to the same address. There we go. Shipping to the same address. Okay, here's where the Canada Post thing was working. Show you all the different shipping options for it, to where my sample shipping is being going to. So makes for a super expensive t-shirt. And we'll try it again. Place the order. And there we have it. One order placed. So that's the basics there. So now once you have an order placed, now you've got to go deal with that order. That's coming up next. Okay, so we go back into the back end of the site. Now we can come into the WooCommerce order section. You can see we've got a sample order here. Now, depending on your credit card processor, PayPal, however you collect your money, you're going to know right away if it's been paid, because you will get errors here if it's not paid, over here to the left-hand column. So this one shows it's been changed from pending to processing because payment was accepted via the PayPal, the fake pay gateway. And from here, you'll find out where you're shipping it to. You can refund it, add some custom fields. If it's a downloadable product, you can grant access to it. You should have it set up to automatically do that. You can add a private note. Basically all of this. This is your basic information here in your store. Now you can add plugins to your WooCommerce website that will print you up, that will allow you to print fancy shipping labels, etc., etc., but that's not something I'm covering here. I'm just covering the basics. So once you've got all this, you just find out the information and then ship it off. You can go check out the customer's profile information. Okay, you can go in to view other orders that they've made. Choose an action. You can take this, regenerate download permissions, resend new order notifications, customers, and you can update and change the order to complete it. And that is right here under status. Put it on hold if there's a reason to hold it. You can cancel it, refund it, fail it, or if it's all good and shipped, you hit complete and update. It adds a new note and it's shipped out, and then the customer gets notification that it's shipped out. Now, if you're shipping stuff, you might want to consider getting plugins that manage the shipping, notifications that as soon as you change it from processing to completed, there's a place where you can put a tracking number in there if you're using trackable shipping, so your customer gets an automated email with a shipping tracking number. Lots of people like to have that these days. Those are all of the basics, and that covers up the Hike Club for Men, e-commerce store setup for the moment. I will be back with more training videos showcasing even more items about WooCommerce over the coming weeks. But hopefully that helps out. Thanks for listening and taking the time, and then join us over at johnoverall.com, where we can help you with any of your WooCommerce needs and services. And please go listen to the WP Plugins A to Z.com podcast, where every week my co-host and I, Marcus Couch, do a podcast on WordPress plugins, and we are pretty heavy with a lot of WooCommerce plugins and things you can do for your site. So thank you very much. Have yourselves a good day. Take care now. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.
the